Well, thanks for joining us today on the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Lee Goodson, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Greg Stone, here at the McKeon Center for Creativity in downtown Tulsa. It's a beautiful fall afternoon, a little cloudy and windy.
Maybe a little stormy later.
Everybody's going to be parking their cars at the car wash. And so, anyway, our guests today are Jennifer Campbell from the Metro campus, Travis White from our West campus, and Don Crall from our Northeast campus. And we're excited to have a full house to talk about the Design Institute. And I have heard so many great things and enthusiasm around the Design Institute. So first of all, let me just say congratulations to all the work that has gone into this and to the people that designed the Design Institute, right? And then to those that participated also. I mean, just what a great investment of time for our students. And I think I'll just start with Jennifer. How did you come about deciding on proceeding with the Design Institute, and tell us, how does it work?
Well, Design Institute was conceptualized actually before I came to the Engaged Learning Department. Started with some conversations, I believe, maybe out in Valencia when a group of people went to Valencia, and I know Dr. Hess and Cindy Shanks and Joe Schicky, who was our professional development coordinator at the time, were looking for something transformational for faculty, to have something really structured. And through the connection with Peter Felton, who used to be, I think, maybe an associate dean
He was an associate dean at Southeast?
Yes, and
yeah.
I didn't really know him, but apparently he's really great and has done some great things out in the field in teaching excellence. And he got us hooked up with people at the University of Virginia, where there is a very structured Design Institute. And we were actually a little bit nervous about it, but the college made the investment and sent myself and Leanne Morris and Linda Brown out there to go be in a Design Institute for a week. And I was a little bit unsure. At the time, we were kind of reining things in here at Tulsa Community College, where we kind of wanted to make sure people were getting a common outcome in all of the courses. And I was looking at University of Virginia, the stuff was just really way out there and how creative they were with their courses. But anyway, we all got on a plane and we went out there. We were the first group of people that stayed in an Airbnb that the college, we worked through that with Mark on how we could get funded for that. And so we all stayed in a house and we went to the Design Institute every day. And it was amazing. And it surpassed all of our expectations. We spent our week having some structured activities, but also a lot of active learning, kind of some flipped classroom stuff. We worked all night, every night. The three of us sat at this dining room table in the Airbnb and talked about our dreams for Design Institute, because that was our project while we were there. That was our course revamping, was to design this Design Institute. And we were constantly put in the position of presenting our ideas and our materials to the other participants and to the facilitators, and it was very immersive and all centered on significant learning, which has to do not only with the foundational knowledge that a student takes out of the class, but also the human perspective, the caring perspective, and the teaching the learner to learn. So when you have all of those components, you have significant learning.
And Travis and Don, you went through, I think, relatively recently, right? We've had two groups go through.
Cohort 1.
Cohort 1
And I was 2.
And you were 2, okay. So when you heard about it and decided to get involved, what were your expectations? What did you hope to get out of spending that week with other faculty members? Don?
My excitement was I was going to get to redesign my curriculum. That's what I thought it was about. When I got there, in fact, that really was what it was about, except it was really redesigning my syllabus, which helped me redesign my curriculum. It made sure that what I was teaching was aligned with my course learning outcomes, and when it was not, I was able to change it so that I was teaching the things that was most important to me to make sure my students were learning. So it made me be intentional. that was the most important thing I think I took out of it.
Travis, what about you?
Yeah, so I don't know if I had any specific expectations going into it. I was just very delighted to see that the college and our colleagues were able to take the time out, and I think that was one of the biggest takeaways for me. Time out to take away and focus on teaching, and I know that we do that indirectly in all that we do, whether it's college-wide initiatives such as Pathways, which has a crucial influence and impact on what we teach, but it was very delightful to have that opportunity to sit down and spend that time to focus on that and to see the fruits of Jennifer and your group's labor. Would have been interesting to be a fly on the wall at that Airbnb to hear some of those discussions to see maybe what is coming for cohort 3 and 4. But for me personally, I had my own aspirations to redevelop a course that's an integral part of our business administration curriculum. As faculty, I also serve as a faculty department chair. And so I wanted to create a course that all of our business students will be required to take, and that will have facets of significant learning. And I had actually been exposed to Fink's work on significant learning, so I was very happy to see that was a part of the Design Institute as well.
So ultimately, as we bring professional development opportunities into the college, we want to know how do they end up impacting the students. So talk to us a little bit about the new skills or techniques that you learned in the Design Institute, and which ones have you already put into practice within your courses? And maybe, Travis, maybe we start with you this time.
Well, I'm a little bit, I'm cohort 2, so I may be a little bit further behind cohort 1, but still very much in that process. And I think that my colleagues and Jennifer would probably agree that it's an iterative process. I don't think any of us anticipated that we would, kind of go through this Design Institute and arrive. So even though I'm in process, I think in some ways we very much all are. I anticipate implementing in a new course for spring a lot of what I took away. And maybe a little bit differently than Don's viewpoint, I thought we had the opportunity to sort of think about our teaching philosophy, which inherently, when we talk about teaching philosophy, is often about the teacher his or herself. And this institute was really revolved around the learner and their learning. And I guess maybe more holistically, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that will impact. Of course, that is a product of any course we teach here at TCC, but that a new, fresh take on that, I think, will be a major component of the new course once it's completed.
I think student success is always number one on all of our list. That's really the main thing we care about. That's all we think about. But sometimes we don't realize that we're missing the mark in some ways. And I believe in this case, the syllabi is one of the things that maybe we were not where we should be. What has happened is because I'm more intentional, I'm giving my students more information. It's reducing the apprehension. They know exactly what assignments we're going to have, what will be involved, what will be expected of them, how they will be graded, and all that is spelled out in the syllabus rather than just me trying to explain that to them in the class. So they have a great snapshot of what to expect, and they can always refer back to that. I have a lot less questions now that they have everything spelled out. Even the assignments, we make it really easier for them to read. Rather than just say chapter 3, we really give more detail. I did implement this immediately, but I had the luxury of summer to work on that. So when I started my fall classes, not only in this class, but I was able to do this for 2 others. So out of my 5 to 7 classes I teach, 3 of them now is utilizing this same method.
So you were in the Design Institute right before the fall semester started, and it gave...
Back in May.
Back in May. Okay.
Yes.
And I would have been right before
And
that.
you were right before the fall semester
Yes.
started. And then when's the next one, Jennifer?
The next one will be next May.
Okay.
And I wanted to add, because I do teach, and so I wanted to add that I found the concepts in Design Institute to be really liberating, that I thought I was really student-centered before the Design Institute, but having some formal training in moving towards being rule-centric, to inviting students to keep my high expectations that I still have, but to invite the students in and allow them the opportunity to control their learning a little bit more and not be so concerned about the rules.
It's really related to growth mindset.
It really is.
It's really related to growth mindset so much, and making sure that students know that we have the welcome mat. We want you to learn here. Yeah.
We want you to learn. We expect you to learn. We aren't going to spend all of our energy telling you what's going to happen when you miss a deadline or when something happens.
Right.
That you just move forward and keep working towards that. Why does it matter? How does this matter to you? It was really liberating.
And I would add to that, Jennifer, that we want students to learn, but we want all students to learn of all types and backgrounds. And we talked a significant amount of time about equity in our teaching, in the way that we deliver and design our courses. And so I think that that's an important component as well.
Well, you've been listening to the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Greg Stone here with Dr. Lee Goodson, and we've been visiting with Dr. Jennifer Campbell and Professor Don Crall and Professor Travis White about the Design Institute. We are actually going to resume this conversation next time with the second part. So remember that you can find the Big Blue Podcast each week in the week at TCC and on the Creativity channel at YouTube. Thank you all for being here. We'll talk to you again soon. Dr. Goodson, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
See you next time.